Hi everybody, this is Susie and thanks for tuning in today and welcome to my studio. I'm going to make this a really straightforward video today showing you how to make your own bookmark. And for those of you that are on Facebook, you are the first ones to see this picture of this really cute bookmark with homemade seam binding and charms. And little trinket charms hanging there. It's just a really cute little quick and easy gift to make for yourself or for somebody else. And I'm going to be featuring this beautiful new paper line that I'll be working with today. And the paper line is from KaiserCraft, and it's the 6.5 by 6.5 inch paper pad that's called These Days. These Days papers are absolutely beautiful. Just a quick overview to show you that you've got your tags and different things that are in the back here for mini book or photo albums or whatever you'd like to make. And you have these really other very vibrant, beautiful spring-like flowers. Very, again, family-oriented, vintage, old, faded-looking, nice paper pack to work with. Script, all earth tone colors between burgundies, browns, greens, creams. Very nice paper pack. So today the paper that we're going to be working with is the other half of what I had used to make this bookmark, which is this really pretty paper here, which are very tiny roses. So and as you can see here on the heart that I made, I'm just going to pick up my tripod for a minute. It's really cute, and it's really nicely made, and it's very simple, and you can say that this is like a beginner project, and a person who's advanced or a very well seasoned scrapper can definitely make this and even change it up some. But I chose this because I really wanted this to look very vintage, something that I can give to somebody as a gift, to anyone as a gift. So with that said, we're going to start right now. And what I used here is I used some cereal board, which you can see right here, and it's a very simple measurements. It's probably the size of your bone folder or a little bit larger. I will have the measurements and all the items used in this video in the drop down box below, featuring again the KaiserCraft paper, and you can get all of these items at acherryontop.com. So as you can see, I have already put paper on the other side of the chipboard, and we're just going to put paper on this side, and I'm going to be using the Aleene's Fast Grab Tacky glue. I really enjoy using this glue, and I know that everyone has, and I hope I'm in picture here, I know that everyone has their own preference to use glue, but a lot of times myself personally, when sticking down paper, and I had mentioned this when I had done the other video, which was for the journal, you know, to set a piece of paper down and make sure that it's all lined up properly. I really enjoy using a liquid glue for that. So here we go. I'm laying this down just end to end. You can make the bookmark any width or any size that you prefer. And as if you saw it in the video, sorry, if you had seen it in the picture online on Facebook by chance, I had it up against an old book, and it looked really nice. So, and it's definitely would make a nice gift for someone, for anyone. Okay, so basically this takes about a couple of seconds to dry, and I'm going to use a pair of scissors here that I have that has gotten glue on them once before, and I never cleaned it, and so I don't want to ruin a really good pair of scissors. So you're just going to basically cut the edges off of this. Really simple. Anybody can make this. Don't be afraid to just start up and do it. And I make sure that I get all of the edges off. Okay? Great. And now we're going to use some vintage photo from Reinker, and I absolutely love this. I'm going to use one of these buffing pads here, And I'm going to get that nice and juiced up. Close the top. Okay. And I'm just going to etch all of the edges all around nicely. And that's what gives it that really nice vintage feel. And if any of the sides are white because you have the cardboard and then you have the paper on both sides, and it's very likely that you'll have it look like that, don't worry about it. Just use your ink. You don't have to use Vintage Photo. I'm using Vintage Photo because I like that kind of old, worn-out type of burned look. I've even done that on some of my tags where I've torn the paper and then used Vintage Photo so it kind of looks really old. Okay. And your glue can still be a little bit wet for a little while, so don't be afraid that if a piece lifts up, just push it down. It'll stick on there. And so you can see that that both sides of this, and I really want this to be a one-part video. Okay, now, and you'll see that this has nicely taken the glue and the ink. Very pretty papers, very vibrant colors in the greens, the peaches, the pinks, the roses. Very pretty. So now the next step is going to be, and we have our guide that's over here. Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to poke a hole way up at the top here, and it's, you know, it's not set like an exact measurement for me to give to you. You can just like eyeball it, and that's what I do with everything. And here I'm using my crocodile, and I'm going to use the larger setting for the hole. And I just want to make sure that I was in picture, guys. I'm sorry. And I'm just going to punch the hole there. Okay, and for that hole is the reason we're going to put some ribbon through there, some charms, and make it look pretty so we can find our place. And then I'm going to be using some of these eyelets, and you can use any eyelet that you like. What I had in my stash were these that are, I think, from Recollections, I'm not sure. And I'm going to go ahead and put this in the other upper setting of my crocodile, and I'm just going to squeeze that in nice and tight. And now I have the hole that has a brad in it, looking very professional if you're giving it as a gift or you just want to display it nicely for yourself. Okay, and okay, now if you're looking at this here, we have 2 charms, and we also have some really pretty, let me see if I go back a little more here, some really pretty vintage lace that I made vintage seam binding that I made myself. And what I had used was white seam binding from my stash, and I used this Tattered Rose Distress ink from Reinker. Okay, you put a few squirts down on your worksheet, on your mat, or some, if you don't have one, you can use wax paper with a couple of spritzes of water. And what I use is just an empty container here. And I just heat dry it, and I wind up getting my really pretty handmade to match, because I really had liked the coloring of this. So what we're going to do is we're going to put this seam binding inside of the hole that I just made, and you're gonna double it up, and you're just gonna push it through. And I'm sure that so many of you have done this before, making tags and so on. And you can see this color was a really nice color to use along with the paper that I had chosen. And you're just gonna pull it through and pull, and there you have your really pretty seam binding in there. And next, what I'm going to be making is a cute little charm. And you can see that right here we have, you ever see sometimes when people are reading a book, like on the subway or in a doctor's office or on the bus, you know, there's always something that's hanging off of their bookmarker. So that's what we're going to make. We're going to make a matching charm. And to make that matching charm, you're going to need the Tim Holtz Fragments. There are 48 pieces in various different sizes that come in that charm package, and it feels like it lasts forever. And you're also going to need the Tim Holtz Idea-ology jump rings, which come in 3 different shades, like a pewter and a gold and a copper, and a larger jump ring and a smaller jump ring. I use the larger jump ring, and you're just going to need a piece of scrap from whatever you used, and ta-da, some glossy accent. Okay, really very simple. I'm hoping that you can see what I'm doing here. Okay, and you're going to get a piece of paper that's going to fit this charm, alright, which this piece of paper fits it fine, so I'm just going to cut it off. Very simple. And I hope you're following me along. Get your fragment charm, okay, and you're going to drop on here just a couple of drops. Don't put it all over. Okay, wake up time. Let's see. Okay, that's great for the camera. So when something like that happens, what you're going to need to do is you're going to need to just get yourself a pin and push it through to the center and just loosen up whatever may be stuck there. I guess that was good for some of you to see, because I know everyone has a question of some kind. So there we are. I'm just going to put 3 little drops there and 1 little drop up by the bail. And I'm going to take my paper here, and I'm just going to bring you over to show you, and I'm just going to drop it right on there, and I'm going to press down very gently, and I'm going to hold it for a couple of seconds. And these are really a lot of fun to work with. I know that many of you watch these videos, and you may have seen some people make their own charms. You can even make them, excuse me, with your own personalized pictures. And as you can see me zooming up there, that the charm is on top of the cardstock, and we're going to have our own customized matching charm to go with our bookmark. Okay. Alrighty then. And then you're going to lift this up after a few seconds, and you're going to get your scissor. And this time I'm going to use the, there's a little bit more defined scissors from Tim Holtz with a red handle. Okay. And that's because I'm working on a small piece, and I want to make sure that I get, sorry, nice and close. And I'm just going to cut this out very easily. And you have your own charm here. And what I like to do, ladies and gentlemen, is I just like to get my file, and I like to make sure that all of the little extra edges that may be sticking off from cutting them are totally filed away, so that it's nice and clean, and so that if it flips over, all you're going to see is the back side of the paper. And you can certainly sign that or write a message on the back to whoever you may be giving it to. And then I'm going to use this paper piercer also from Tim Holtz. It's the Tonic Studios. Okay. And I'm going to use, oops, sorry. I'm going to use that, and I'm just going to poke a hole. And I like to do it from the opposite side. You see, you just poke that through, and you have your hole there. And you're going to get the jump ring that I mentioned to you. And these are really forgiving to work with, so you're just going to pull that apart and push it through there. Close it, and then you have your cute little charm. And you can also use one of these, or any other kind of garment pin, or this Tim Holtz pin, or you can just use the ring itself and put it on. But I wanted to do something a little bit different by using some of these really nice Tim Holtz products. Okay, and I'm just going to thread this through very easily. I just want the front of that to show. And I'm going to leave that down for a moment. And then I'm going to make the charm that I have here, which is very simple. I'm using a piece of copper wire. You can buy these in your craft store or hardware store. And what we're going to do is we're going to just make a little bit of a loop here at the bottom. I am not a professional jewelry maker, you guys, but just feeling this back and forth like that, I believe it softens up the wire a little bit. It makes it a little more forgiving to work with. And I'm just going to do what I had done here on this charm, just to have a little extra doodad hanging there. And I'm going to put one of these crystals, flat colored creamy pearls. And all of these little pearls and charms are all from my stash that I had. And I'm just going to add another shiny pearl, and then again a pearl that was the same as the one on the bottom, so they'll look like that. Okay, and I didn't follow any tutorial or anything on this. I just tried to wing it on my own. And I'm going to bring that down, hold it, and let's hope I get this good now. Now that I'm live on video, right? Okay, and I'm going to just wrap this around a couple of times, just as a little bit of a design. And it doesn't have to be anything fancy. I'm not a jewelry maker. In fact, my friend Rachel had made me a tag and sent it along with a swap that we did, and I love the way her charms were. I just totally admire that. But anyway, here you go. You have this really cute little charm that's handmade with the pearls on it. And you could certainly add that. It doesn't matter which way that it goes on. Look how cute that looks. Okay? And so now you're going to get your bookmark, and you're just going to push that right through the seam binding and close it. Very easy to close. And these Tim Holtz charms pins are really cute. They have like a little saying and a number on them. And there you have it. A really cute bookmark that you can give to someone as a gift. You can actually display them really nicely on your blog for a photo perhaps. I mean, if you want to just add something else a little bit extra, like possibly a little rose just to soften it up some. This is a flower that I had made a while back, and I do use it in a lot of props. And as you can see, it's a really cute little gift to give for somebody. This is the one that I made before the video, and this is the one that I made with you just now. And I'll just zoom up quickly. And you can see there's a charm that we made together, the one with the Tim Holtz ring and fragment and the handmade seam binding, which I do have a video on how to make that, so you can go to Suzie Crafter 10 and go through my videos. I will put a link in the drop down box of everything used in this video below. And on behalf of CherryOnTop.com, please go and check out the beautiful new paper pad that I just used in this video. One of the papers from KaiserCraft that is called These Days. Just an absolutely gorgeous paper line. I hope you have enjoyed this tutorial, and I hope that you guys are having a great day, and thanks so much for tuning in today. And this is Suzie Crafter 10, and I appreciate all of your comments. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.